Hello, my name is Sunny and I'd like to share a few of my projects for this upcoming winter season and share a recent yarn haul for my birthday. So I'll just jump right into the yarns that I purchased. I have them pre-bagged, but here is one this is a sweater I would like to knit to replace an existing sweater that I have. I really do like it, and although the red might give off some Christmas vibes, I like to wear it in September. It just kind of reminds me of fall and apples, and I do wear that sweater all throughout fall. So the only thing is that it is a synthetic sweater, and over the years it's shrunk and it's kind of lost some of its softness. And I just figure soon I'm gonna have to replace it, but a red sweater is a staple in my closet. So I was scouring the internet and found that this Drops Air is the closest to the color that I have. And I'll probably share more about the sweater once I get to knitting it. So this one also, I ordered more of this merino, but honestly, I don't remember what sweater I wanted to knit with this. I was going a little crazy on Ravelry, and I don't think I bought enough for a lot of the patterns that I favorited, so it makes me wonder what was I thinking. I think I purchased in this batch, I think I have 9 skeins, and that's about 950 meters. So I'll have to figure it out. Like I said, this is my second batch. I did buy another set of these for another cardigan, so if I have extra, I hope I can make something out of it. But alright, next I bought a few Drops Airs, but this one I just really wanted a lilac sweater. I was thinking of making the cloud sweater. It had the ribbing or the details that I really liked, but then I ended up finding a vintage pattern on Etsy, and so I purchased that because it was more close to what I wanted, because it had that matching ribbing up at the neckline. So I will be knitting a sweater with Drops Air. I think my last Drops Air, but I bought this beautiful blue. It's caught my eye for quite a long time, and I was watching Be Creative Knits on YouTube, and she actually used this Drops Air for a cable cardigan, and on my Pinterest I also had a blue cable cardigan that I really liked and would like to recreate. So I'm not using the exact same pattern she is. I like the one that I selected. Next is this cotton merino. This is the 50% wool, 50% cotton. I believe it's denim blue, color 16. It looks a lot more variegated on the website, on Drops Design website, but when I actually got it, it's a pretty uniform color. You can't really see to that extent, so I'm very pleased with this color. I've been really into it lately. So it'll be perfect to make some sort of summer knit for it, which I have a plan, but I'll probably talk about my summer knits at a later time. Here is the next batch of items I got. Let me see. So again, I have this merino extra fine, superwash treated in color 50, 100% wool, and then I'm going to pair it with this Kids Silk. I think it's like a grayish, beige, as you can see. I don't think it'll be that noticeable in the knitted garment, but it's color 20. And then I also got these colors. So again, Kids Silk in color 13 and the extra fine merino 34. It is difficult to match these online when you're looking at just pictures, but I'm not unhappy with this color. I actually do like that it's a little bit darker, kind of like a berry, and then I think this bright pink will lighten it up a little, but I just wanted a really nice pink. And then lastly, this is probably the worst matching. I last minute, I think, changed my merino color, which I'm totally fine with. But this is color 31, and then the kids' silk is 19. So I'm thinking when they blend together, it'll be a nice green. I'm not a fan of this by itself, but I think it'll look a lot better. And I'll talk about this one in my winter knits project. This is going to be more preparing for spring. Then I wanted to try a few different drops yarns, so I did try to get a few new ones, and this is one of those. I'm a little nervous because I did knit in an alpaca silk sweater, and I do find it a little itchy. I know some people can be sensitive, but I decided to try this. I think it's a fingering weight, the Drops Alpaca. So I got this beautiful pink in color 9034, and then a kind of grayish again, 9036. I think they look really pretty together. So I saw this randomly. I'm not familiar with this brand at all, but I saw the color, and again, I see a lot of those neutral type colors on Ravelry, and you know, this neutrals are kind of trending. So I had a blouse in mind, and this was actually also closely matching that blouse. So I decided to get it, but it is alpaca, merino, and silk. I believe fingering weight. So it's 45% baby alpaca, 40% merino wool, and 15% silk, made in India. But I really like it. I can't wait to work on it. I don't know why these are individually packaged in plastic, especially when I ordered with this, and I don't know, these all came individually packaged, but I got the Stonewash Minerals XL by Sheepies. I don't know if the J is silent. I got the color Opal Ocean 906. I really, really like the colors in this. It's right up my alley, and so I ordered enough to, I think I'm going to make a vest out of it. That way it's not too much maybe color. But I am a little nervous because I was expecting this type of yarn. I mean, compared to this one, it's the same lot, it's the same color, but this has pink. So I don't know if they just cut it in a different location, and then, you know, maybe on the inside it's more of this bluish mint, but I don't know. I guess I'll have to see. The last purchase I made was at a local yarn shop, actually. I found out that I had one. Besides, you know, Michael's, Joann's is closed now, but I didn't know if I had local shops, and I see a lot of blogs in the UK or Australia or even other parts of the States, which is where I'm from, and it's really fortunate that people can have local yarn shops where you can kind of look at them in person and feel them, but we don't really have that, except for one, which I decided to check out again around my birthday, just to see. I was very excited, couldn't wait, so I went in, and of course it was amazing. But I ended up finding a few yarns that I took photos of that I'm bookmarking. Now, of course, you've seen all the yarn I've purchased, so I won't be buying more for a while. I definitely want to get through all my projects. I have a project for each of the yarns I bought today. I actually bought them when I already liked or selected the patterns. So going back to the yarn that I purchased, this is probably, it is actually the most expensive yarn I've ever purchased for like a garment. I actually recently just finished knitting my most expensive sweater, and this is like double that almost, so very special. So here it is. It is, oh, I don't even know, but is it Fino? It's Fino Mason del Uruguay? Yes, Manos del Uruguay, if I said that correctly. But I really liked this. It's a fingering weight, and I don't know if you could see, there is a little bit of variation in the yarn, which I'm not sure if I like really liked, but I think because it's in this really deep wine berry color, I think it'll look really pretty. So this is 70% merino wool and 30% silk. It's so soft, and this is one of those purchases I made where I just really like the yarn. So of course, as soon as I got home, I had to figure out what am I going to knit with it. I mean, it's very expensive, and because of that, I wanted a timeless sweater to go with this, and I did find one. I really like it. So that was all my birthday yarn. Very exciting, but that means I have a full year ahead of me next year. I already actually made a calendar for all of the sweaters I want to make per month. Some of them have 2 months, so I don't really know. I mean, I'm not the fastest knitter. This past year was actually my first year of knitting, so I learned a lot of techniques, and I think I've, you know, grown quite a bit in a year, which I'm really happy about. I could talk about the sweaters I've knit in my first year in a future video if there's interest, but I'm really looking forward to year number 2. So I guess that gets us into what I'm going to be working on for the rest of this year and the remaining winter months. Right now I am trying to knit a Christmas sweater. This is the Santa Baby sweater by Han Ribbon, and I actually originally saw this sweater on Pinterest, and it was modified. I mean, I do believe this is a pattern that was used, but I really liked it and I wanted to create that for myself. So I tried to match the colors as close as possible. I don't know if you can see the trees in here, but this, I ended up purchasing Drops Charisma. It's a superwash wool. I got this in color 37, and then with it I got a green for the trees, which I think I have here actually. Oh, I bought this green, which online it didn't look to be, or maybe it did look to be olive, but I thought it would look nice. When I actually got them, and then I got to the color work part, I realized this is a no-go. This doesn't really look like Christmas. I mean, the colors look, I think, great together, but so this was one of those situations where it was an emergency. I was starting the trees the next day, so I went to my local yarn shop. Thankfully, like I said, I have one, just one. So I went there after work, and I brought my yarns with me, and I'm, you know, trying to compare to see, do they have any sort of similar, you know, weight. They don't carry drops, so I was looking for a DK weight wool yarn, superwash. That way it'll kind of behave the same way. Choices were really just like this kind of green or like an olive green again, so I felt like this was more close to a evergreen tree, and so I thought it would look great. And then I started the color work the following day, and I realized, wow, it is so difficult to see. I mean, I don't know if the camera is showing that, so I'm hoping if once I block it, it'll be more clear. But another fun thing about this Christmas sweater is that once I block it, I do want to decorate some of the trees. similar to the Pinterest photo. I have some beads, glass beads and others, and so I'm looking forward to doing that. But like I said, it's already the end of the first week of December, and I really want to get this done before the holidays so I can wear them to like upcoming Christmas celebrations. So I did notice, I've seen a few videos of folks talking about color work and how your gauge can change, and I definitely noticed that. I tried to keep my color work super loose, just getting those tips in advance. This was my first color work project, and I thought I was doing okay, and then yesterday I was knitting, really just trying to get to the rest of the body. I noticed that my gauge changed quite a bit. It's like puffing out. I don't know how it would fit. I'm just going to keep on going at this point, giving myself a lot of grace because this is my first year. Each sweater I've knit has taught me different things, so this is all a learning experience. But after the body, I just have to do the neck and then block it and then decorate. So, very excited. So after my Christmas sweater, I started another sweater before as well, I think in November, using this yarn. So this was from my grandmother's stash. I have quite a few of her yarn that I acquired, and I've liked looking at this yarn for years before I even knew how to knit. And this was one of the reasons that I got into knitting, was because I really wanted to make a cardigan out of this yarn. Especially, I knew exactly what I wanted to do once I saw Suzanne's Gaspard cardigan. And I'm like, hey, I have a really nice red yarn. I mean, I do think it's acrylic. At least I did a burn test, and don't try it at home, but I saw that it didn't behave like a natural fiber, so but I'm okay with that. Like I said, this is so soft. It's actually 3 strands held together. I started this maybe even back in October, but I found a knitting pattern that I thought was close enough to the Gaspard cardigan. It's the Kinevara cardigan, and so I learned how to do short rows. This is as far as I've gotten. So once I finish my Christmas sweater, I plan to pick this back up. I definitely want to add some pearl buttons, maybe. I also have buttons in this matching color, so we'll see when I get there. But I do really like it. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a dupe for the Gaspard cardigan, but I'm pretty happy with it. I feel like I could wear this for 3 seasons, just because it is very lightweight, but it's also, I think, acrylic or some sort of synthetic, so better at trapping in heat for me. So yeah, I'll probably be talking more about this one once I get to it, but it's on pause. And then another big project I want to finish by the end of the year is this crochet cardigan, creating these granny squares, and I want to make a black and white crochet cardigan like this picture. And so I think I started this last year, and I don't know, something about the endless granny squares is just not for me. I also I actually started crocheting first a couple years ago. I mean, I learned how to do both as a kid, but then I got really into it a few years ago, or back into it, and so I was crocheting a lot. But to be honest, I do prefer knitting for many reasons, but I guess one of them was that crocheting is really hard on my hands. I sprained a finger last year trying to crochet, I think, a bag, and I couldn't do much of anything. I had to put it in a splint for like a week. And recently I've crocheted something, a Christmas gift, and I was really worried I was going to sprain it again because I was feeling it in my hand. I just grip my yarn very tight, and the repetitive motion is just, it doesn't really do me good. Like I said, I've had this cardigan started for over a year now, and I don't like to leave unfinished projects, so I would like to finish it. And that way maybe I could wear it like January, February. I could still wear it soon after finishing. So these two projects I'll probably be working on. I do take some time off between Christmas and New Year's, and I travel out of town at my in-laws' house, so this is the perfect type of craft to work on when I'm not at home, but I'm not really doing anything all day. So hopefully I'll get these done in December, and that brings us to January. I've planned my year of knits so that I prepare a garment before the season or event that I want to wear it in. And so last year I purchased a pink yarn because I saw this sweater on Pinterest. You'll hear me talk about Pinterest a lot, and I really wanted to make something like that, and I think for Valentine's Day it's perfect. And so when I bought the yarn last year, I think it was in the spring, but again, I don't know, this was like a mistake of mine, but I found I might have just ordered the yarn and not given it a second thought. I did order quite a bit of Drops Baby Merino, and I decided, hey, I'm gonna get a pink one too because I want to knit a cabled sweater. And then I'm looking on Ravelry what kind of sweater. Eventually I stumbled upon the Hannah sweater. I liked how it was a little bit oversized, how it was a little bit long. It was kind of very similar to my inspo. Obviously the cabling was different, but I just really liked it, and I thought it would be even better than my inspo pick. So of course I look at the pattern, and it's a DK and lace yarn held together, and I was like, I have the Baby Merino, which I think is a sock or fingering. And so I thought, okay, what if I just would make it cropped and hold it double? I tried that. I was not meeting gauge on my swatch, and it didn't look that great. I mean, because the merino, it's very like defined, so you could see definitely like all the separate strands within my swatch. And that's not what I was going for. But I wasn't gonna go out and buy new yarn for it, so it just sat. And then when I was doing my birthday order, I decided, hey, you know what, since it's gonna get shipped to my house, let me just order maybe something to hold with the Baby Merino so that I can, so that maybe I can meet gauge and I wouldn't be compromising as much. So I thought that the Drops alpaca has enough thickness to it. I think I ordered the Baby Merino in a light pink. Here are the two together, you can see them. And so they're not an exact match, but I figured, you know, when you see it all bunched up like this, I feel like it's definitely a lot more different when you hold it apart and then you start working with it. Here's my unfinished swatch. I just really wanted to see how they look together, and I think it's really nice. It's not like a warm pink, but it's just like a nice, I don't know, ballerina pink. So I definitely am looking forward to knitting this. And then also, as I suspected, the alpaca pairs very nicely, and I believe I am meeting gauge. That is what I plan to do in January so that I can get it done in February. And then in February I have two projects, and so one of them is using this yarn. I want to make the Crazy Daisy sweater by Be Creative Knits. I actually first saw that on Pinterest. Surprise, surprise. I stumbled upon Be Creative Knits on YouTube, and then I saw that she actually created the pattern, and I was amazed because I saw it on Pinterest and did not think that there was a pattern for it. I thought somebody just made it and shared it. And then also I do like watching Be Creative Knits, so it was just so fun to watch her make the pattern, and I was even more excited to make a sweater myself. And so in Ravelry there is one of maybe a tester knit photo where, you know, it's like a beige base, the pink petal collar, and a green button band, and I really like that. Actually, that's how I saw it on Pinterest too. and so I wanted to recreate that. And so that's what these are for. So I also, this is going to be my first time knitting with kid silk, so that'll be interesting. Recently I've heard a few things about it shedding maybe, but then others don't experience that as much. And then I haven't knit with Drops Merino, but it is very soft, and I think the merino is what I should have purchased in pink. So you can see the difference there. It is quite substantial. So, and especially when you start like pulling at it, it's so thin. Which, I mean, it makes sense. It's mainly targeted for baby clothes. Lastly, I want to make a sweater. I started this one again. Like, the crochet projects just take a long time. This is going to be going on the 4th year of me starting this sweater, and I have not finished it yet. So it definitely has to be finished early next year. I want it out. I want to wear it, especially in the spring. But I am coining it or naming it my Flower Power sweater. It's similar to this one that I saw on Pinterest. I saw that and I was like, oh, I want to make that, and I was really into the crocheting, and I saw it, I was like, oh, these are just the flower puffs. So I didn't like purchase a pattern. I don't even know where it would be available, but I decided I'll make it on my own, just kind of DIY it. And I spent quite a bit of time looking for the correct colors that I wanted to go together. At this point I was like going to Joann's. I was buying the acrylic yarn, which I know some people don't really mind that, but for me, especially as I got into knitting, if I am going to be spending all this time knitting, I do prefer to use the natural fibers now, but I do have some acrylics when I first started that are in my stash, and I do want to use them up. I went to Joann's and I purchased it was like 6 different colors, and I was trying to figure out which ones would look nice together. And then I started knitting. I did all the flowers. I laid it out in the pattern that I wanted to connect them all with, which I probably should have connected them as I made each one, because this is the last step, is the one I'm dreading the most, connecting them all. But as soon as I saw it, I realized, wow, I do not like these colors. And so I swapped 3 of the colors. I did not like the yellow, the magenta I picked, or the orange. They were all like too dark, jewel toned, not the pastel pinks that I was envisioning. So back to the drawing board, I went to Joann's again, or even Michael's. I was just scouring locally and finally found 3 to replace it with, and I'm much happier. I mean, I think I'm still being a little bit picky, but at this point I just want to get it done. I'm not going to unravel the entire blanket that all of these flowers are arranged in the exact pattern. Maybe once I started, or I could just roll it out somewhere where it's not going to be touched and take a picture or something. But I can show, I don't know how I ended up with extras, but they are like these flower puffs. And so I had 6 colors, and I am connecting them in like a patterned line, and then each stripe is going to have a different color pair. It's all laid out, all the flowers are done. I just need to connect them all together and then crochet like a chain border or something around the cuffs, the collar, the base, and it'll be the perfect little spring flower sweater. I knit these using, here I have some of this left over, the Caron Simply Soft. I think all the colors I chose are part of this line. And actually no, I'm sorry, this peachy one, this is different. I think I ordered this one because I could not find a 6th color that would go well with the rest of the flowers. So this one is different, but the rest of them are all Caron because they have this sheen. So when I was trying to find the replacement colors, I had to really pay attention to make sure that I wasn't getting like a matte acrylic yarn. It had to have the sheen as well, or else it'd be, I think, very distracting. Alright, So, last but not least, I wanted to talk about my sewing. I don't actually sew as often. I just like how knitting, I could just take it, and especially in the winter, I am really enjoying knitting, sitting on a heated blanket or in a blanket with some tea and just click away. But I do have some sewing projects that I want to do. One of them is the pinafore dress, and I had a few inspo pics, but the thing is, when it comes to sewing, I do like to self-draft and just have like an iterative process, trial and error. I do not like to follow patterns. I find it very difficult, and it just sucks the joy out of sewing for me. What I like about it is that I could just cut, sew, rip out, fix until it fits the way that I like it. So that being said, I am a little nervous about cutting out the pattern for this dress because I have the patterns, but if I make a mistake, that's it. I can't do anything else. Like the project is scrapped. So it's actually laid out with the pattern pieces on top, and I'm just haven't cut it for a few months. But I would like to get that dress done. And then also, I recently purchased a, I don't know if these are called jelly rolls, but maybe like off-brand jelly roll. I don't know, I happened to see that it was on sale on Amazon during Black Friday, and I saw Uniquely Mateo earlier this year. I stumbled upon a YouTube short where she was making one of these rugs, and I thought that was the coolest thing. So it's been in the back of my mind to create one, especially for my sewing space. I felt like this cottagecore package was very fitting. I saw an Amazon reviews of people making jelly roll rugs with this exact roll, and I just absolutely liked it so much. And I think it would go perfectly. I plan to replace the rug that is currently under my sewing chair with this one because I think the colors will go a lot better with this room. But I don't know if you can see it. If I zoom in, it might blur, but so some olive tones, like a mint, some nice berry colors, and then back to the green. I think that's all I'm going to have for the next couple months. I don't want to overburden myself, and so that's all the things. Considering it is December, beginning of December, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season. Today I finished wrapping up almost all of the gifts that we are giving out to families, so I'm feeling extra festive, extra excited. So I decided to finally bite the bullet and sit down and kind of talk about my winter projects. I hope you liked it, and talk to you soon. Bye.